It's the Soul Fantasy Show, Soul Fan Show. Hey, it's the Soul Fantasy Show live for June 10th, 2020. Going over the top picks and plays for Draftkings and Fanduel. NBA, we got NBA action. Charlotte versus the LA Clippers, Los Angeles Clippers. Right on top, we have Kawhi Leonard, as usual, is my favorite guy of the slate. I'm looking right at Graham's face. I am. He did good last time. Is he going to do good again? All right, Kawhi Leonard is going to get you one of these options. He has a top at 63. So he has an 18% chance to get 60 plus. Very good chance. There's no way he's getting under 30 fantasy points, so there's no shot. So you're getting over 30 fantasy points guaranteed. You're going to get a good amount of fantasy points out of him. He's not even that expensive for the price of like Harden and Westbrook. He's 10.8. Harden was like 11.8. So he's $1,000 less than Harden was a couple days ago. And he's guaranteed to get more points than Harden got. So he's definitely going in your lineup. We're going to think about who we're putting in the captain spot. Because you got Paul George, who does have a chance to get 0 to 30 fantasy points. He has a small chance, but it is 26% chance. All right, so you could see him possibly getting 49, 54, 31, 45, 44. All right, he has a medium-sized matchup, 1.33 fantasy points per minute. Paul George is possibly captain 7-6. What did he do during the season? See, he puts up these low games, 30, 27, 24, 28. That's why he has a chance to get 0 to 30 fantasy points. So he could really screw you over. The lowest he will get possibly is 8. He could get an 8. He could screw you over, or he could go off and not go off, but he could get 50 to 57 fantasy points, even 67. So don't rule him out of getting. He could get 60 plus fantasy points. It's just very unlikely, and I don't think he would be a captain potential. You could, but you're taking a chance to get screwed over there because he has only 3.8 times value today. All right, Montrezl Harrell. He also has a similar possibility of the same numbers as Paul George. Paul George always, in regular NBA action, is always dependent on whether Kawhi Leonard plays or not. This is Sims, so it doesn't matter. So he'll probably put up some numbers. All three of these Clippers are probably going to be in my lineup that I would have. All right. Montrezl Harrell has 1.2 fantasy points per minute. All right. He's very good to go. He has a captain potential. All right. So right on top of the Hornets, we have Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier. So Graham did very well last game, and he has very good, solid numbers. I overlooked him last time. I'm not going to overlook him this time. He has a 50% chance to get over 30 fantasy points. Basically, no shot to get 0 to 15 fantasy points. And he has a very good chance to get 45 to 60 up fantasy points with the potential to reach out to the stars and get 63 fantasy points. That's very possible. Graham is good to go. Is he in my captain spot? No. Terry Rozier, he is somebody, he's not going to get over 60 fantasy points. He has the same chance as Graham to get very little fantasy points and has a good chance to get over 15 fantasy points, which he will. There's a possibility he gets 10, 12, 18, but I don't see that happening. I see more likely 38, 40, 41, 25, something like that, which will help you out. Lou Williams, all right. He is a very good stud today. He's the sole stud of the day. Lou Williams is a captain potential, 50% chance to get over 30 fantasy points, 10%, 45 to 60. And he even has a shot to get over 60. I got him getting 40 to 59 fantasy points today. He is a sole stud of the day. Now we have Morris, Bridges, Washington. Here's some of their stats. You could consider them in rostering them. All right, so here we go. Here's the nitty gritty where we have to find these little guys. Zeller did very well last time. Zeller has a 62% chance to get 15 to 30 fantasy points, 22 to get more. So, man, if you are rolling the dice and you have a 12% chance to get 0 to 15 fantasy points, it's not going to happen. So when you roll the dice, he's going to get 15 to 45 fantasy points, most likely 21, 23, 31, or 38. Around that. For 5-6, I'm very comfortable with you running Cody Zeller back, or even Monk. For say $400, he does not have a good chance to break out of the 0 to 15 fantasy points. But it's worth taking the risk for 5-2. He's getting a little bit under a fantasy point per minute. Easy matchup. 18 projected. So he's going to get 18 to a possibility of 28. The 28's an outside chance. And he could even wind up getting one of those high numbers, which is what the Sims have been throwing at us. These low, lackluster players are getting very high fantasy numbers. All right, now here's the catch. Which one of these guys are we going to go with as the sole sleeper of the day? Beverly or Reggie Jackson? I'm going to go Reggie Jackson. I don't know. Man. So 3, 4, and 2, 8. It's either Beverly, who has a very good chance to get 15 or 30 fantasy points. If he gets 37, I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to go Beverly, and then I'm going to go Jackson. Jackson's a little cheaper. He has a 30-30 shot to get 0 to 30 fantasy points. And he has a very good shot to get over 30 fantasy points as well, but he could wind up getting slingshot down to that 9. So you have to watch out for that. So Beverly is the sole sleeper of the day. Patrick Beverly. Shamet is a sneaky sleeper. 50% chance. 50-50 shot to get 0 to 30. Nothing more, nothing less. For 4-4, he's not this. I was thinking sneaky sleeper. No. All right, so down here, look at our value. All right, Batum. All right, Batum has a very good chance to be the sleeper. He's the sole sneaky sleeper of the day. All right, and no, I would fade Caleb Martin out. Biyombo, you could go with. You have a good chance of doing something there, but not getting over 44 fantasy points. Yeah, you're not getting a lot out of him. You're getting mostly 12, 11, 22, 15, 16, maybe 27 at the most for 3-8. He's a little expensive. His DD is low, but he's getting a fantasy point per minute, so that's pretty good. And then we have these guys down here with the last option of possibly playing, but it's 50-50. He's not getting over 29 fantasy points, most likely. He's going to get 23, 19, 12 for 2-4. That's a little steep for him. Yeah, I'm not crazy about him. Here's the lineup optimizer today. All right, Kawhi Leonard right on top of the MVP. All right, I'm not playing PJ Washington today. I am just going around him. Beverly, I'll keep there. Zeller, I'll keep there. Grandma's, look at that. This is nice, and you still have $1,000 if you want to go. If you think you might want to go with PJ Washington, that's a pretty good lineup right there. All right, so let's try Harold. So we got to think. The MVP is very, very important in these sims. You're going to go Kawhi, George, Rozier, Graham, or Harold. That's it. Period. Those 4 players are one of the top captains. So then when we go here, we can put him in there. Like I said, he's only $1,000. All right. We do not play Dwayne Bacon. Don't play Kevin Bacon, because he's an actor. He's going to act his way down to 4 fantasy points. You can play Reggie Jackson here. Now you got $3,000 to spend. So then you're just going to go with the sole stud of the day, Lou Williams. Okay, I added one more person that could potentially be in your captain spot. Graham, Williams, Harold, George, or Kawhi Leonard. Put one of them in your captain spot. So we're going to break down how these lineups look and who's the best captain. So there's a lot with George. Kawhi. This is what you can do with Kawhi. So I'm thinking Lou Williams in the captain spot. So now look, that saved me almost $4,000. So Rozier I like, Monk I don't like Bridges. So I can put Kawhi right there. Morris is okay. You could play Morris, but I'm not big on him. Bridges I'm not crazy about. PJ Washington I'm not crazy about. Biombo, and now I have 4K to get rid of Monk and put Graham in. So this is a pretty nice lineup. Lou Williams as your captain, Cody Zeller, Rozier, Graham Leonard, Biombo, Jason Giambi, the swinging slugger. All right, so let's try. We tried Harold. Let's try Rozier as the captain. George, Harold, Lou Williams. All right, that's spending all your cash, and this is a contrarian, very odd play, and you're fading out Leonard, which I do not advise. Do not fade him out. I don't advise it. Play him. Got to play these top 4 or 5 studs. 4 studs at least. George, Graham, Rozier, Williams, and yeah, that's basically it. And whoever else I said. So this is tough. So if we put Reggie Jackson here, put George there. We have enough. Definitely have enough to put Kawhi in there. Look at that. Look at this one. Monk. So Washington's definitely an over Monk. So if you're in this situation where you have to put either PJ Washington in, you have to put one of these Hornets in, do it if you have to. Do what your salary is making you do. So Graham, Lou. All right, so let's try to get one of these littler guys in there. All right, Batum, no. Bacon, Kevin Bacon is on the set, so he's not on my lineup. Beverly, all right. Beverly is the sole sleeper of the day. Lou Williams, the sole stud of the day. We have $10,000 to waste. Bam! Oh man, we just missed George. But we have Rozier, or we could just go like this. We could go Shamet, George. There you go. It's the Soul Fan Show. Look at that lineup. If you already haven't, please subscribe to the channel.